All right. Hello and welcome to our evening session of Fit Essentials. Quick disclaimer, and then we'll get started up on our feet. Oops. All right. So you're about to engage in intense physical activity. Proceed with caution. Do not attempt to perform any movements or activity that exceed your current physical capabilities. Participants with injuries, high blood pressure, chronic health conditions, recent chest pain, or that have any other condition that may limit their ability to participate in this activity should consult their physician or healthcare provider before proceeding. All right, everybody. We're going to start with some breathing, and then we're going to do a good warm up more on the floor tonight. Let's start on your feet. Oh boy. I'm in a new space, so kind of getting readjusted to the camera angles here. Feet just underneath the hips, palms in front of your chest. Go ahead and close the eyes. We're going to breathe in nice and deep as we stretch up to overhead. Fill the lungs with air and exhale. Let them come down to the side. We're just going to use these 3 breaths here. Bring ourselves to presence. Breathe in, stretch tall. Really invite you to let go of everything that's happened leading up to today and just be present here with your body. One more cycle. Breathe in deep, stretch tall, and relax. Very good. We're going to go ahead and start by curling down into some Jefferson curls, walking the feet in so the toes are straight ahead, chin to the chest, and now we're going to slide the hands down the thighs, like nice and slowly, rounding through the back, reaching down for the toes. And then when you get to that bottom position where you feel a stretch in the back, just make sure you bend your knees a little bit and breathe into the back of the rib cage. Nice deep breath. As you exhale, you can hang just a little bit lower, still staying strong through the legs. Once more, breathe into the back. Exhale, hang low, and then push through your feet. Start to reverse, coming under by tucking the tail, and then one segment at a time, coming on up to the top. Fantastic. Go ahead and step the feet out nice and wide, just outside the hips, slight bend in the knees, and now we're going to be windmill in the arms. So sending the hips back, reaching towards the opposite leg. Engage those glutes as you come tall. Long spine here. And just see if you can reach just a little bit farther each time. If you're able to get down to the ankle, you can start to reach like across to the outside of the foot. And let's go about one more each side. Fantastic. From there, we're going to go into an inchworm. We're going to reach down for the ground, walk your hands out, and we're going to come down to our knees and drop back into child's pose. Lower this down a little bit. All right, so toes together, knees divide, drop on back. And again, breathing into the back of the rib cage. Nice deep breath in and all the way out. Once more here, breathe in deep and exhale out. Fantastic. We're going to start by coming up on all fours. Kick the leg out to the side, and then we're going to rock the hips back towards the heel. Get an opening into the inner thigh. Rock forward and rock back. You can start to walk your hands towards the opposite side of the body as well. Kind of get a little bit of a side body or lat stretch with it. Let's go 1 to 2 more here. Rock forward. Stretch that hand long and rocking back. Last one. Opening through that inner thigh. Very good. Come on back to center. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Kicking that leg out. Back toe can either be up on the foot or back on the toes, whichever you prefer. Forward and back about 5 times. After the first couple, that's when I start to bring the upper body into it, starting to walk the hands across, away from the outstretched leg. And about 5 total here. Forward and back. Very good. Come back to center. Next, we're going to stretch out those forearms. So sitting back on the feet, turn the palms under, fingers towards you, and just gently sit back, and then we're going to rock side to side. Just feeling for any tension in the forearms, and now we'll start to circle around. So I rotate up and back, just nice, smooth circles. We hold our phones most of the day, spend times on the keyboard, those forearms get tight, and then reverse directions when you're ready. Same thing other way. Stretching it all out. All right, go ahead and walk the feet in if you're comfortable to sit back on the feet, and then we're going to shake out the hands. is quite right tonight. Doop. Good. Shaking out the hands, and then let's roll the wrist around. 3 to 5 one direction, and then 3 to 5 the other. Very good. We're going to stay down here, or if you're not comfortable kneeling, feel free to come to a standing position. We're going to open up the upper body next. We're going to reach one arm straight up, chin in, bend that elbow, and we're going to go tricep into a side bend. So you want to keep the head stacked over the shoulders, shoulders stacked over the hips. Try not to let that head dip forward. So chin in and bend to the side. Let's get a couple more here. Breathe in as you lengthen, and then exhale as you start to lean and twist. One more, and down. Good job. Let's shake it out. Swing the arms open and back. Very good. And just kind of check in with your feet if you need to sit up, shake it out at all. And now we're going to do the same thing, other side. Reaching up, tall through the torso, bend the elbow, grab, pull that tricep into it, and now we're bending to the side. Get a nice side stretch. Upwards of 5. Inhale as I stretch long. Exhale as I dip. Good. Couple more. Very good. Last one. Fantastic. Next, we're going to come into a lunge. Let's go ahead and bring your left leg forward. So you're going to mirror me. I'll be on the right. Feel free if you need to put anything under that back knee. Otherwise, you want to have that knee slightly behind this hip, front heel planted, shin is vertical. We're going to interlace the hands, stretch up nice and tall, and now you're going to engage that back glute as you shift the hips forward and back, making sure that we don't arch the back, keeping the ribs down and opening through the hip, and then you can bend to your lead leg side, so your left, and you can rotate your torso towards that front side. One more time, come back to neutral. Let's shake out the arms for a second. And we'll reach up tall, stretch up out of the hips, forward shift, fire that back glute, bend to the side, and then rotate to your side, like you're trying to look over your left shoulder. Very good. Coming on back out. We're going to go inside elbow to the inside of the knee, slide down the shin, just hover here by the instep. All right, we're going to do a few rotations to open the mid back. So inside arm, walk underneath that outside arm, and then you're going to come open and follow it with your gaze. We're going to do 3 rotations here. Again, walking the hand under that lead side and open, follow with the gaze, reach the fingers back. One more. Reach and up and back. Very good. And then we'll do the same thing, other arm. And if you're not comfortable here, you can use a pillow or a block to kind of come up a little bit higher. And now we're going to reach under the leg and rotate up and out. Nice little opening there. Twice more. This direction is typically feels stiffer for many people than the opposite direction. So just be kind with yourself. I had one friend tell me, it's not so much the weightlifting, it's the stretching that I get really self-critical. All right, we're going to switch legs. Same thing, other side, coming into that lunge. So stand tall, interlace the hands, stretching long, shift the hips, fire the back glute. Good. Forward and back. A couple times here. And then we're going to side bend towards your lead leg. Come back out of it. Lengthen, shift, bend, and then rotate as well. So really feel that back hip flexor opening. Oftentimes you'll feel it up into the abdomen. Relax back out of that. Good job. We're going down to the instep next. Elbow on the inside of the knee, sliding down. Just hover here, take a couple breaths, kind of say hello to the outer hip. And then when you're ready, we'll do our reach under, reach back. So reach under the lead arm, follow with your gaze. We're going to go 3 times each arm. Try to exhale into the opening, get all the air out of the lungs. See if you can get just a slight more rotation. That's a phrase, slight more, slightly more. And then inside arm, walking underneath that lead leg as well as you can, lifting up out of that bottom shoulder as you rotate. Under, lifting up. Under, Fantastic. All right, just a couple quad stretches. We're gonna come down to the floor and then we'll get ready for our first piece. Let's come up on the elbow, grab that top leg, pull the heel towards the glute. We're gonna hold these about 20 seconds. Just be patient here. You can gently focus on bringing the thigh back as you pull that heel, and then watch the position of your upper shoulder. So pull it back. Good, and rest and switch sides. Same thing other side. Calf of the foot, pulling it back. I've got people outside shoveling the snow. We had a big snow earlier in the week and now it's about 60 degrees outside, but there's still the big snow pile. So it's a good workout in and of itself. All right, relax that leg and come onto your back for a moment. We'll do a little two-knee twist, wake up that low back as we talk about our first circuit. So arms out to the side, engage the glutes, and just gently bring the legs to one side as you look over the opposite side. Feel free to hang out there and pause for a moment if it feels good. Then when you're ready, use the core, pull the legs up and across. Same thing other way, peering over that shoulder. Very good. So we're going to be doing 3 sets, working on either some single leg balance exercise or a reverse lunge. Okay, I'll show the balance on round 1 and then I'll lunge on rounds 2 and 3. From there, we're going to go into our T push-up. So feel free, folks, to finish this and do a few glute bridges as well to open up those hips as I go over the movements. So the push-ups, you can do them down on the floor or you can have the arms elevated. We're going to come down on the knees or toes, ideally chest to the deck, and then you're going to pivot, lifting up out of that shoulder, rotating through. Okay, you can also do those from like an elevated position. I'll do round 1, a little bit elevated, then come to the floor. After you do push-ups, you're going to go back to the opposite leg, either balancing or our reverse lunge. Back and down. It's going to be all on one leg for the lunges before we switch other side. Okay, and then our fourth exercise in the circuit is a bent over row. You can do, or it's bent over or seated, right? So you can do a bent over row holding 1 or 2 dumbbells, but utilizing 2 arms, or you can grab a band. If you want to go into a seated position, sit tall, and it'll be a horizontal row just like so. Okay. We do have a little bit of deadlifting coming up in the next circuit. So if you want to save your hinging for the deadlifts, then do the seated row version. Okay. We'll have 15 seconds in between exercises and then 30 seconds in between sets to grab a little drink and go from there. All right, let's go ahead. We're going to start on that left leg. We'll start in 10 seconds. So toes straight ahead, 2, 1, and begin. So if you're going to balance, you're just simply standing tall, lifting up, or working on some lunges, stepping back, front shin vertical. Back and down, nice and controlled, up and forward. Very good. I know I said I was going to balance this around. I changed my mind, get some lunges in from the start here. Did a lot of those balance holds this morning. Nice work. Almost there. Whether you're balancing or doing the lunges, focus on hips square. Good, and rest. Nice job. 15 seconds. We're going to those push-ups next. So be on the ground or elevated. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Elbows in towards the side, core strong. Lift up and rotate. Good. Nice and strong. Try to control down, push up, and here. Nice. And if you're kind of in between, whether you can do a knee push-up or a toe push-up, a good way to build into it is to go down on your toes, come up on the knees, and then you would come to your toes for your pivot. It's hard to pivot on the knees. Doing great here. Good focus. And rotate. Nice job. Another 10 seconds. Core strong. Elbows in. Fantastic. And 3, 2, 1, and rotate. And just to be fair, I got a little bit, I started on an odd number and then I got a little bit lost. So you may have done a little extra on the push-ups. We're going to the right leg next. We'll square it up from here. Stand tall, 2, 1, go. Either your balance or working on that lunge. Do whatever you did on the first time on that left leg. If you want to change exercises, we can do it next round. Good job. Lifting up through that core. Good control of the hips. Nice job, 10 seconds. And those of you that are more advanced with the lunge, if we want to add some weight next round, so that I'm going to do myself. And 2, 1, rest and rotate. Going to either that bent over or join me for a seated row. Sitting tall. All right. Just going to go elbows into the sides, shoulders back and down. Reach forward. And this is a good one to pause as well. To pause in that back position. Reach in. Good. Not so much focus on speed of reps, but that good contraction in the back. So strengthening the back muscles, opening the chest. Good job. 10 more seconds. Couple more here with a nice strong hold. Reach. Back and in. 2, 1, and rest. Fantastic. Let's grab some water. We're taking 30 seconds till we start set 2. And we'll be back on that left leg. You can stick with the balance, or if you want to work on some lunges. Those of you that did lunges the first round, if you want to hold a little bit of weight. Going in 10. Left leg. Set the foot, stand tall, 2, 1, and begin. Back and down, up and forward. Good job. There you go. Try to find something straight ahead to focus on. Front heel is planted, but I'm also gripping that big toe down. So I'm like gripping the toes, activating the arch of that front foot. That gives me that stable base of support. And 2, 1, and rotate. Great job. Push-ups are next. All right, make sure to keep track of my time this time. Place the hands, starfish hands, nice wide handprint, and begin when you're ready. Elbows in, try to come all the way to the floor, up, lifting up out of the shoulder as you pivot. Remember to hold that belly button in so the back doesn't arch. You oftentimes will see that on the down portion or sometimes on the up. People will start to strain and arch here, so fire the glutes. Engage your midline. Coming up on halfway. Nice smooth breathing. Keeping the elbows about a 45-degree angle from the torso, but avoiding winging them really wide. Good job. Less than 15 seconds. Moving with control. And 2, 1, all done there. Nice work. 15 seconds, we back up. Working on the right leg. Chest tall, place the foot nice and strong, grip those toes down, and here we go, either balance or lunge. So when I play make-believe that I'm on the beach and I've got this claw on the front foot, digging into the heel, propelling me up and forward. You're gonna feel that hamstring engage, driving tall. Very nice. And 2, 1, and rotate. Good job. Seated row or bent over. All right. Pay attention to your posture. Sit nice and tall, shoulders down. Here we go. Hold in the back, 1 to 2 seconds. And then relax, reach forward. Elbows in. The shorter you hold the band, the more tension you'll have. So if you want to make it a little harder, just shorten your grip. Typically different colors will give different resistance as well. You can start to notice that. Couple more. In and hold. Last one. And rest. Nice work. We'll take 30 seconds, and then we'll go into our final round of this circuit. All right, everybody. 10 seconds. We're back with that left leg balance or lunging. Place the foot, standing tall, 2, 1, and here we go. Control the knee down. Active front foot. Square through the hips. Nice, ladies. Good job. Nice balance. Excellent. Keep lifting through the core, breathing through it. And 2, 1, and rotate. Good. Push-ups next. All right, we'll do a couple of variations here. 2, 1, and go. So you can come down on the toes, come to the knees, and then come to the toes to pivot. So down on the toes, try to control to the deck. Up on the knees. Just do whatever makes sense for you. You challenge yourself, but have that good range of motion. I'd rather see somebody do an elevated push-up and go all the way to their chest, then try to go on their toes and just go part way. So strengthen your joints through that full range of motion. We're halfway through. Good job. Breathe fluid. 15 seconds left. Good, maybe one more. And 3, 2, 1, and making your way back to your feet. Nice job. Right leg lunge or balance. Place the foot, lift through the hips, and begin. Back and down, up and forward. Find something straight ahead to focus on. Try not to have any forward dip of your torso. Fantastic, those look great. There you go, Heather. I like how you added that weight there, holding smooth. Yep. And 2, 1, all done there. Last set of seated row. All right. And around one or both feet. 2, 1, elbows in. Just allow this to be a place where you try to catch your breath a little bit. Breathing smooth. Seeing that nice tall posture. Good work. Holding about 2 seconds in the back. Let's get 2 more reps here. Squeeze and hold. Let's hold for 3 on this last one. In and hold. 2, 3, and relax. Fantastic. Shake it out. If your water's nearby, grab some water. We're gonna do a couple more stretches on the floor before we move into this next piece. All right, our next piece is suitcase deadlifts when the weight's on one side of our body and some side planks. So continuing with some core work, we'll be going left arm on both, then right arm on both, and that will be cycled for 3 times. But let's come onto all fours, walk your knees in, and we're gonna gently drop the hips to each side here. Stretching out the side of the hips a bit, stretching out the low back a little bit. Just breathe. Very good. From here, place the hands beneath the shoulders, turn your toes under, drive the hips up, and gently rock the head between the arms for some down dog pulses. Try to lift the hips high to the sky and push the Head between the arms, staying strong in your midline so you don't arch excessively through the low back. And then when you're ready, go ahead and walk out the heels, get a nice stretch in the back of the legs. Very good. From here, we're going to swing your right leg forward or flip on your back for figure four. Pigeon doesn't feel comfortable, but if you're good for pigeon, we're just going to square the hips here, shoulders over, and just stretch to where it feels good, not to where it makes you want to cringe. You can gently sway yourself side to side. Just feel for any stiff areas here. If you feel comfortable to come down lower, you could drop down a little bit lower. Or again, utilize a block if you want to come up out of it a little bit more. Either stay there, or if you'd like, you can grab the back foot, turn it into that ultimate stretch. About 5 more seconds here. And then we're going to relax, and we're going to sit down, and we're going to bring that back leg around. If you're on your back doing figure fours, kind of do like a single leg twist, or sitting tall here, hugging it in, kind of dropping the hip down. Opening through the hip as you pull yourself around, trying to peer over that opposite shoulder. Couple breaths here. And then just take note, which leg are you hugging into your body? We're going to go back into that down dog, and then this is going to be the leg that you bring forward. So let's go ahead and come out of this. We're going back to down dog. So hands underneath the shoulders, turn those toes under, hips up. Gently pulse the head between the arms. Go ahead and pedal out those heels once more. Got some jumping jacks or step jacks coming up. And then when you're ready, swing that back leg forward. On me, it was the left, so whichever one you were hugging in, into pigeon. Good job. Breathing here. Hi.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Just ready to fix some dinner.
Nice. If you want to drop down lower, go ahead and drop lower. We've got the stuff for that butternut squash and cauliflower. Dinner plans. And grab the back foot if you'd like, or just stay there. We'll hold this about 10 more seconds. Very good. Relax that back leg. Swing the back leg around, seated twist. So things that we're going to want to know as we're working on those suitcase deadlifts, we're going to hold the weight on one side of the body, just as if we were carrying old school luggage before we ever had luggage on wheels. And then there's a tendency to want to shift your body away. So you're just focused on staying as square as you can through that movement. Side planks can be done elevated or down on the floor. On the floor, you can go off your knees or off the toes. We're going to be doing 3 sets of a total of 30 seconds each. Try to pick a height or a level that you can do all 3 sets in the same manner. Maybe looking to get unbroken. But if you can't get unbroken for the first round, I would definitely kind of drop down in difficulty for the second. All right, let's go ahead and grab a drink, and then we'll get started in about 10 seconds with the weight on the left side. So get the weight on one side of the body, toes pointing straight ahead, and 3, 2, 1, here we go. Send the hips back, hinging forward. Fire those glutes at the top. Good job. Breathe and squeeze. Nice. 10 seconds left. Activating that upper body to hold everything neutral. And 2, 1, and rotate. All right, next we're headed to the side plank. Stack that elbow underneath the shoulder. You can come up on the knees or up on the toes. Here we go. It's a good time to just kind of relax the eyes closed. I'll keep an eye on the time for us, I promise. That's our first 10. Breathe, relax. Continue to lift up through the shoulder, not letting yourself sink down, and lift through the hips. That's 20. And then keep an eye on that top shoulder. We kind of tend to roll forward, so keep pulling it back in alignment with your hips. And 3, 2, 1. There's our time. Good job. Making your way back to your feet. Now we're going to repeat that same process on the right side. Toes pointing straight ahead. Stand tall through the spine. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Fire the glutes. Hinging over. Good. Long spine, tall chest. Good work. Halfway through. And 3, 2, 1, and rest. Good job. Making your way back to the floor. Plank on the right. Stack the elbow underneath the shoulder. 2, 1, and here we go. Holding everything square. Feel free to relax the eyes closed. Good job. We're over halfway in. Lifting and holding. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and there's set 1. Good work. Grab some water, 30 seconds, and then we start set 2. If you happen to be just starting in with this, if you feel like you ever need any longer breaks, please give it to yourself. You can also start to introduce by not doing all 3 sets. You could do sets 1, rest set 2, jump back in for set 3. Same for the last interval as well. You could go every other round instead of every. Otherwise, we're going to start in 5 seconds. Standing tall, toes straight ahead, left arm, and begin. Fire the glutes. The heavier you get, or the more tired you get, the more the body tries to twist. So that's your job, really using your midline. Keep everything square. Use the upper body to keep it close, like you're trying to put that weight down right by your ankle. And rest. Nice job. Side plank on the left. If you get there and want to start early, you're always welcome to it. Stack that elbow. 2, 1. Here we go. I'm just here as your guide, so you can make workouts intervals in sessions shorter, longer. Obviously, especially if you're watching the recording, you can always put me on pause. And I don't give you any musical entertainment, so you're always welcome to play your own in the background. We're over halfway, everybody. That's 20 seconds. And 3, 2, 1, rotate. Good job. Back to our feet, deadlift on the right side. Even when I was teaching in person, the music always stressed me out. Like, what do you all want to hear? I always ask people to pick out their music. Toes straight ahead, stand tall, hinging over. And here we go. It's that concern of always trying to please everybody. And then it's really hard on the music end. And then from our standpoint here, being able to upload to YouTube, if you have music in the background, it have copyright issues. We're halfway through. So I just kind of chose to have it quiet because you guys have lots of ways that you could play music on your own. 2, 1, and rest. Nice job. Second half of set 2. All right. Stack that elbow, line up the feet, come on up. You can stack your feet like I have here, or sometimes too, it feels better to stagger them. You can do almost kind of like a half knee, half leg out like that, or you can have like both knees down. So planks are so endless as far as how much creativity you have. We're halfway through, but they're great exercises to keep our core strong, build that foundation for our spine, help prevent injuries. 2, 1, and that's the end of set 2. Good job. Grab your water. Stay hydrated, especially with weather cooling down. I know I have to really keep an eye on myself to get my water in. All right, we have one more round of that. We're starting back in 15 seconds on the left side. All right, standing tall, toes pointing straight ahead, lifting up through the spine, hinging at those hips, and here we go. It's a hinge at the hips, but the knees are not locked out. It's not a straight leg deadlift. We have a little bit of a bend in the knees. And just keeping those hips square. Don't let them kick out. Straight back, straight up. Moving well. Nice job, Heather. It's great, Kathy. And typically the hips will shift away from where you have the weight. So you can think about almost trying to bias as if you're trying to push them towards the weight. And rest. Good job. Second to last side plank. Elbow under the shoulder. 2, 1. Holding strong. Now let's take a moment and talk about water. So our goal for water intake as a generality would be half your body weight in pounds. So if I weigh 200 pounds, I want to drink at least 100 ounces a day. So half your body weight in pounds and ounces of water. And you want to make sure that you're drinking water and not calling tea water. 2, 1, and rest. Like my dear friend Kathy reminded me of this weekend. I think I had that if it was caffeine free that it would be okay, but we want to just be drinking pure water. All right, one more cycle through. Thank you, Kathy. Fun to have you here as well. Toes pointing straight ahead. Right side, 2, 1, here we go. Squeeze the glutes. You can add lemon, that still counts. Lemon water is a really good detoxer as well. It's a really good pattern every morning before I have anything else. I have fresh water with lemon. Hinging over, standing tall, moving well. Staying square. 2, 1, rest. Fantastic. Right arm. 2, 1, coming up. And water not only helps our energy levels, but it also just helps our body to fight off infection, support our immune system. Your spine is a lot healthier because your discs are made up of like 70% of water. 10 seconds left. So when you're dehydrated, you have less distance between your spine and you have more likelihood of like compression type of injuries and pain. Rest. So don't make excuses for why you don't like to drink water. Just find ways to like it. All right, let's come onto your back. We're going to loosen up that low back and then we're going to roll into our last piece. We're doing 5 sets in this last piece with no assigned rest. You can choose to rest, or I've given you different exercises for each 30 seconds. We're going to start with a squat, or you can do a thruster, the squat to an overhead press. Let's go ahead and go into a bridge pose next. Tuck your shoulder blades back and down, push the hips up. Either just hold here, coming up and down as you need, or interlace your hands, pull the shoulders back, and pull that chin in. So don't look at me, just listen. I'm not demoing anything right now. So we start with that squat or thruster, followed by either resting or 30 seconds of jumping jacks. Then we hit the floor or an elevated position for mountain climbers. And then we either rest or we finish out each interval with burpees. So that's the hardest transition. Come out of that, hug the legs into the chest. Hardest transition would be from the burpees. We go right back into either the squats or the squat with the thruster, which is that overhead press. So you just get to choose how much you want to push yourself. You know, I just encourage you to make sure you have good ranges of motion. Let's come on up. We're going to warm up our squat and then we'll get it started. And a really good way to build into this as well, either work every other round or just rest every other interval. So set your feet nice and wide, about hip width apart, slight toe out. And you can hold onto a chair if you'd like, or a countertop, but we're just going to slowly sink down, heels planted, chest up, eyes up. And if you're comfortable down here, you can just gently shift side to side, get a nice opening in the hips, ankles, knees. And then when you're ready, drive those heels, stand tall. Beautiful. Let's just go a couple more. A little bit faster, just sinking back, chest up, heels planted, and stand. Sink and stand. Very good. It's gonna drive me a little bit crazy, but we'll be all right. Not crazy. All right, so just a reminder, we'll squat. Mountain climbers, I'm gonna demo them from the floor tonight, but you can do them here, elevated. And then the burpee elevated would be standing or hopping up to the feet, okay? Everything else, I'm gonna be down on the floor. And on the burpee, I'm gonna do the no push-up version, but if you wanted to make it more challenging, you could go all the way to the floor and then all the way up from there. All right, any questions? If not, we're gonna start in 20 seconds. Weighted or unweighted on your squats, completely up to you. I'm gonna demo a thruster, but feel free, if you wanna just do a regular squat, that works great as well. All right, going in 5 and 2, 1, here we go. Smooth breathing, eyes straight ahead. Try to pace yourself early here. If you do the full thing with me, we're doing this 5 rounds through. So we want to have this round look similar as round 5. Or ideally, we pace this round so that maybe round 5 looks a little bit stronger, a little bit faster. Good job. Maybe one more. 2, 1, step or jumping jacks next. Nice, breathing smooth. Good job. There you go, 15 seconds in. From jumping jacks, we're going to our mountain climbers. Very nice, and 3, 2, 1. Place those hands underneath the shoulders, core strong, knee towards the same side elbow. Step it up, step it back. Try to keep the core strong so that the hips and the pelvis isn't just bouncing side to side. Very good, 10 seconds left. And you're either gonna move into a rest break for 30 seconds between rounds or burpees. 2, 1, and here we go. Step or hop your feet up, reach to overhead. If you're stepping, pay attention and try to alternate which leg steps up and which leg steps back. Squeeze those glutes, pull yourself tall. So when the breathing becomes fun. 10 seconds till we start set 2. We'll be back with those squats or join us for thrusters. And 3, 2, 1, here we go. Feet just outside the hips, slight toe out, control down, breathe through it. Fantastic. Focus on that control. Couple more. Resting or our step or jump jacks next. And transition. Good job. Step jacks is good kind of in between, kind of catch the breath a little bit. If you want to keep that heart rate high, feel free to jump. Nice work. And you can do seal jacks too, step and seal jacks, change it up. We're getting ready for mountain climbers. And 3, 2, 1, in position. Hands beneath the shoulders. Stepping or hopping. Good smooth breathing. 15 seconds. Burpees are resting next. Second half of set 2. And 2, 1, here we go. Good base of support. Try to alternate that step up, step down leg. Watch yourself talk here. So stay positive as you get winded and as you get tired. You're supposed to be winded. You are working hard. Fantastic. 10 seconds till we start set 3. And anytime you need a set or an interval off, give it to yourself. 2, 1, here we go. Middle point. Focus in, moving with control. Reset the breathing. I tend to breathe out twice during each rep, so I exhale down, exhale as I push overhead. Some people it doesn't feel good to breathe that rapidly. Just depends on who you are, so do what works for you. 2, 1, step jacks or jump jacks. Woo! Or give yourself a rest. I'm gonna grab a little water. Warm in here this evening. Good work, everybody. 15 seconds. Mountain climbers are next. Three, 2, 1, and here we go. Climbing the mountain. Somehow my yoga mat doesn't give me quite the view of actual mountains, but hey, we'll train for those mountains. Sometimes it's hard to know what are you training for, but I always just think about wanting to be able to be young, even when I'm old in years, being able to get outside, enjoy and experience life. Burpees are next. 2, 1, here we go. Squeeze the glutes as you pull yourself upright. We're at the end of round 3, which means we're over halfway, everybody. I said we were gonna have fun tonight. The morning class thought that I meant that I was coming in costume, at least and so she was like, oh, you're not in costume. And so I quickly tried to find something that was hilarious. All right, from burpees to squats, 2, 1, set 4. Having fun yet? Set your feet, control into the bottom, drive to overhead. If you're doing that overhead press, ribs down, squeeze the glutes, keep that midline strong. Great job. That's the way, Heather. Good, Kathy. You got it, everybody. From thrusters to jumper step jacks and transition. Woo. Step or jump. Great time to just dance around too. Doesn't have to be formal. My personality tends to be a little serious. My mom comes to the morning classes and she's always kind of like dancing around, just having a good time, being goofy. I'm like, but hey, I'm getting better. 2, 1, back to the mountain. Here we go. Nice wide handprint, starfish hands. I heard from someone leading the class over the weekend. I like that. Breathe. Think about that starfish on the shore. Going for walks. 10 seconds. Second to last set of burpees coming up. Staying positive. And 2, 1, here we go. Step it up. This is one that we like to say, everybody can do one more. Getting on the ground, getting off the ground. It's about as functional as it gets. And one of those things that seems so simple, but can make you feel so tired. 10 seconds left. Remember, you feel tired because you're building strength, building stamina. 3, 2, 1, round 5. Round 5, here we go. Thrusters or squats. Staying tall. Breathe and move. Great job. Try to stay up in that squat. Don't let that chest drop. Heels down, knees out. 10 seconds. Last set of step or jump jacks. 2, 1, transition. Woo! Almost there, less than 90 seconds. We'll be all done. Good time. Can you just kind of close the eyes for a second as you move and breathe? Focus in. 10 seconds. Final time up the mountain. 2, 1, and here we go. Place the hands. If you're someone that tends to be hypermobile, check in with your elbows. Make sure you don't have them locked out. So little give. That's our 15 seconds. Continue to lift up through your shoulders, lifting up through that spine, keeping your hips level. Ready for those burpees. 2, 1, burpee. Just our final 30 seconds. Taking a break, see if you can join back in. Just do a couple more. Nice job. Midline strong. Fire those glutes. 10 seconds, everybody. Reach for the ground, reach for the sky. Does everybody get one more? And 3, 2, that's our time. Woo! Nice job. Grab your waters. Let's walk it out. Get a little cool down stretch in. How was that? All right, great job. Let's go ahead. We're just going to start the behind the back stretch. Open up that chest and shoulders. If you feel good for the forward fold, we'll add that. So feet nice and wide. Interlace those hands, extend the elbows, ribs down, lift. And now we're going to bend at the legs, send the hips back as you choose. Forward fold. Breathe here. Stay strong, grounded in the heels. I like to kind of just rotate myself side to side a little bit if you feel comfy here. And then when you're ready, root your feet down, come on back up. Good job. Let's go into that stagger stance. We'll go your right forward, left back. And we're gonna do our tricep side bends from this stagger. So reach the arm up, ribs down, bend the elbow, looking straight ahead, and now bend towards that front leg. Breathe in and exhale into the bend. So kind of tricep, upper body, also incorporating a little bit of hip flexor here. Couple more. Fantastic. Shake it out. Side to side with the arms. And same thing, other side. Pivot other way. Arms straight up, ribs down, chin in, eyes ahead. Breathe tall and lean to the side. Inhale to lengthen tall and then side bend. Whoop, losing the balance. Couple more. And last one. Very good. Shaking it out. We're going to go quad stretch next. Go ahead and stay standing, or if you prefer, feel free to lie down. Lifting up out of the hip, grab that foot, pull the heel back. Breathe here. Our goal here is to get the heel to the glutes, ideally to have nice long. So, if that's something that feels really tight for you, just try to incorporate it into your day. It's a good exercise or a good stretch to pair when you go to the bathroom. Just pause before you wash your hands and stretch your quads. Even just 10 seconds on each side will make a difference. And then you can celebrate that you did something good for yourself. Drank water, had to go pee, got to stretch my quads. Victory. Got to hear BJ Penn, the author of Tiny Habits, speak over the weekend as well. And he talked about, go ahead and relax there. We're going to go pec stretch next. If you have a doorway, or I'm just going to use the wall here. Elbow about shoulder height. Step your inside leg in. Just kind of lean. Actually, if you're on a flat wall, I like it better to walk the hands up and back. So like get a little more traction when you don't have that flat surface. Then step forward and rotate, opening through the chest. Anyhow, I was saying it's the author of Tiny Habits. He really talked about the importance of celebrating when you do the tiny things. He talks about doing 2 push-ups every time he brushes his teeth, and then to like celebrate, reach your arms up in the air, celebrate, allow yourself, he uses the word shine, so that you can reinforce those positive habits. Go ahead and relax out of that. Let's make a turn for the other side. you're on the flat wall, walk it up, walk it back. Inside leg steps forward, rotate and turn. And I can definitely see for myself how much it's easy to feel like you haven't done enough yet to celebrate. Oh, how could that make a difference? But that's the whole point, that we celebrate the little things, and then all the little things add up to big things. But when we just blow off the little things, then we don't reinforce that positive behavior that sends us forward. So don't wait to celebrate. Walk out of that. Good job, folks. Let's go ahead and come on down. We'll finish on our backs. All right. On the back, set those shoulder blades back and down. Let's extend out your left leg. Pull the right knee into the same side shoulder as you actively push down the left, and then we'll just kind of bring it across the body a little bit. Feel free if you want to add some ankle rolls here. Very good. And then we're going to pull that left leg up, right foot to the left thigh, and we're going to go into figure 4 here. Hug the leg in. Say hello to the hip on the right, just gently. Good time to close the eyes. And if you all know that hamstring sciatic nerve floss, we'll extend the leg up, point the foot away, pull the foot towards your face, and then bend the knee back down. As you bend it down, hug it in, and 2 more cycles on your own. Keep that nerve sliding. Don't want it to get stuck along the muscles, and it kind of tends to give us trouble. Good job. After that last one, let's go ahead and relax. And then we're going to do the same thing other side. Straighten out that right leg, pull the left knee to the left shoulder, and then gently bring it across. A few ankle rolls as you just say hello to the glute gently. 3 to 5 one way, 3 to 5 the other. And then we'll pull that right leg up. And say hello to that hip on the left. And then this is a good time to notice, did it feel more stiff on one side than the other? I know for me right now, I'm noticing that this left hip's a little stiffer. So ideally what you could do, if you notice one side is stiffer than the other, go ahead and add that sciatic nerve, extending up, point. It's a good habit to stretch that side twice. So ideally in my world here, if I were attending to a little bit of an imbalance, what it feels like, I would start on that left side for a figure 4 stretch. Stretch out the right, and then come back and give the left a little more attention. We're just going to focus on kind of equal sides here in class, but if you notice that for yourself, it's a great way to add it in outside. All right, and then relax those legs down. Let's go hug both legs in. You can stay here, and then if you feel good here, you can move into like a happy baby, pulling the legs back and forth, opening up through the thighs. And if you want to get a little bit deeper stretch on your low back, you could go into plow, where you're going to bring your feet over your head. So up to you. If you feel good there, go for it. Otherwise, you can just kind of go back and forth between like a glute bridge and that double knee to chest, or happy baby. But just nice and gentle here. This can be a good way to open up the back of the neck and the back, but it is a fairly deep stretch. So do what feels good for you. Take about another 20 seconds here. And whenever you're done, you can just finish on your back in corpse pose. All right, especially those of you that are here live for the evening class, great time just to close the eyes. Take a couple nice deep breaths. I thank you for showing up. I hope that you thank yourself for showing up. And yeah, give yourself some time. Otherwise, remember to stay hydrated, fuel yourself well, and hope to see you next time.